92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Mike Wennmacher, welcome back to the Pregame Show. Joined now by Glenwood Titans head football coach, Coach David Hay. And last week, Coach, tough loss to Rochester at Rochester, 27-14. How does a game like that, though, help you guys going forward in your overall goal of trying to get a state title?
Well, I certainly hope it does. It's how you respond, and that's what I told the kids. It's not that you never fail, it's how you respond to it. And certainly there's some things in that game video and that game that we need to do better. You say that every week, but it really slaps your team in the face when you take a loss. And, in that regard, it kind of helps. I'm not looking forward to losing anytime soon, but, it does help in terms of really teaches that lesson pretty clearly.
You mentioned after the game that the effort was there, just have to execute better. So what are some of the things you've been working on in practice this week that maybe you saw that you've been working on to refine and kind of fine-tune? Well,
we need to make sure that in that game Friday night, we need to take advantage when we have opportunities. We needed to score there at the end of the half. We need to execute on special teams, and those are big things in our game. There are some very positive things too. Our defense gave up one score from the 1 yard line in the entire second half, and so they did some really things. I thought it was the most physical game that we've played on defense, and so there's some real positives, but there's things that were very clear they stood out, and we focus on those things as well as the usual little things.
You mentioned the defense. That was the thing I was going to talk about, the kind of the game within the game. Take us through the process of the adjustments you guys make within the game, because it seems, whether it be offensively in the first half of the season or even defensively against Rochester, you guys seem to come out and do, even better job in the second half. Take us through that process of adjustments and the coaching staff and how you guys are all working together.
Well, it's a constant process. Early in the game, definitely the first couple drives, offense is looking at what the defense is actually going to give them, which may or may not be what they gave them in practice. Defensively, offensive coordinators are always going to have other schemes on. Halftime, you kind of refocus. My job is to refocus the team as a whole. Then our position coaches get into their indie groups just like they would in practice to discuss the specific things that they need to fix and get better at. And then, we started, our two platoon really started to really take effect in that second half. Our guys were fresh toward the end of the game, but like I said, we just didn't execute when we had the opportunity.
One guy who stood out, Miles Stapleton. We talk about Galashki Blaze and Tyjon Randall, but he's kind of the safety blanket guy, and not only just catching the football, but he's a heck of a blocker too. Talk to us, because he's a 3-year kid in the varsity program now.
Yeah, he gets real physical on DBs and outside linebackers when he gets his hands on them, and once he gets locked on them, your kid's gonna be in a bad spot. He's strong, upper and lower body, and that lower body really, as you're dropping your seat and getting into somebody and blocking them is maybe the biggest part. And so yeah, he's bigger than you might think, and certainly physical. When he gets locked on people, he does a good job.
Your opponent this week, Lanphier, a team that's obviously struggled throughout the year. So what are you looking from your team in this particular matchup Friday night against Lanphier?
Same thing we've been talking about, progress. We need to get better in the game Friday night. Regardless of who we play, we want to get better Friday night. And yeah, Lanphier's struggling this season, and we know that. And I look forward to them, one day being able to be in a better position. And we would always do anything we could do to help them. But we got to focus on ourselves this week and focus on getting both healthy and getting better as well.
Homecoming as well for you guys. What's it mean for you as a coach, and what's it mean to the players to have the homecoming game?
I guess it's my 28th homecoming game, because we lost the one. I don't know if we had a homecoming during COVID. I don't even remember that COVID spring season. Right. So I guess it's my 28th, and I've been around here a long time. It's important, and the message we stress with the kids is, you got to win your homecoming game. You got to win the homecoming football game, but really that you're a part of something bigger than you. A lot of people do come back for the homecoming game. These kids don't know that. They're older folks that I coached, but it's important, and it's because to me, our football program is just the football part of a bigger school community. And in Friday nights, this is a community event, and so homecoming is probably the biggest one that our football community and our school community puts on.
Well, best of luck, Coach. I always appreciate you taking the time, and look forward to calling a victory Friday night against Lanphier for homecoming.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.